What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So, the House of Representatives and Republicans and Democrats have not been getting along here at all, and neither has the U.S. with China, Russia, and North Korea. But Kevin McCarthy, leader of the House of Representatives, gives us an update here on what the House is doing about them. And he gives us here details on bipartisan talks here on this and the three biggest threats to the U.S. Take a listen here.
That's where I'm going to go with this right now. It was a Wall Street Journal opinion piece a couple of days ago. Behind the scenes, you've done a lot to get the focus back on productive legislation in a bipartisan way, even approaching Leader Hakeem, and saying, I'm going to treat you the way, which was kind of funny you said that, I'm going to treat you the way I wish I had been treated when I was minority leader. But in your view, it's bearing fruit already in certain ways.
Well, look, even the night I got elected, I said to Hakeem, the first thing I said to him was, be afraid, because 2 years ago I had every member of my conference vote for me too. So it all changes in a couple of years. But I said, look, we're going to debate a lot of issues and we're going to be feverish in our debate, but I'm never going to attack you personally. And there's so many things that we do that doesn't need to be partisan. The running of the House, the security of the House, the respect that you have for one another. I just think it goes further. And when we were setting up a lot of these different committees, I created a whole new item, a select committee on China. I showed him who I was putting on from my side of the aisle, even before I showed my own conference, so he understood what I was trying to achieve with this. We would go to the SCIF together, because he's now part of the Gang of Eight, so he would know the same things that I know, so he'd understand what I was trying to do with the Intel Committee. And when the Intel Committee reconstituted, I had us both go together and speak to them. It shouldn't be a partisan committee. It shouldn't be an impeachment committee. This is the place that you learn secrets, and this is the place you should be making investments to keep this country safe, and it shouldn't be a partisan place. So we're turning that back around. I'm actually sending the Intel Committee to MIT to get the briefing on AI and quantum, the same one that they give to the generals in our military, because whoever captures that first has an advantage. And those are the things we should be focused on instead of the stuff that they've been focused on before.
It was funny, because reading this piece, it says that you're determined to bridge the gap between the two sides in the House. I just thought you meant in the Republican Party.
Look, anybody can win Speaker on the first round. It really takes a lot to go 50.
But I thought, you're right. I wasn't negative. I was just trying to tell you that
okay, but look what we've done legislatively. Look what's going on the president's desk. ESG. Now, he's going to veto it, but we passed that bipartisan. D.C. crime. I know it's about D.C., but it's about crime. It's a national issue that we said we'd do something about in the Commitment to America, and the president just changed his opinion.
I was going to say, he's going along with you on that, right?
He wasn't at the beginning.
But we're gearing up for election where nobody wants to look like they're soft on crime.
Yeah, but they have been soft on crime. And what D.C.'s city council did, they decriminalized everything. Carjacking, when we voted on it a month ago, there were 65 carjackings in like 1 month, and they want to decriminalize it. The day of the vote, a congresswoman was mugged in her elevator. I mean, it's unbelievable what they've been doing.
Keep going. You had some other things you told me about that you wanted, other bipartisan things that you recall.
There's something we're going to do that hasn't been done. And look, we've got a lot of challenges out there, but I think the three greatest threats to America long term is our debt, our education system, and China. And so this week, we're going to hold a bipartisan meeting in the auditorium. We usually do this for classified briefings, and it's going to be on the budget. And we're going to bring in the Congressional Budget Office. They just came out with new numbers. And we're going to hold a briefing so everybody knows the same numbers, because it is dire, the position that we are today. We're spending more per GDP than we ever have, and we've got more money coming in, percentage of GDP. We've only been getting 20% in the year 2001 and 1944. We're getting it now, but we're spending so much. And if you look at the new numbers, in the next 10 years, we will spend $10.5 trillion just on interest. If you look at how much we spent on interest,
I got the over on that.
No, but look,
I got the over.
Since
it's going to be a lot more than that.
But since 1940 today, more than 80 years, we've only spent $9 trillion on interest. This is what will break America. Every great society collapses when they overextend themselves, and this is why it's so critical.
Yeah, so you can see how concerned he is about the debt China and our education system. He kind of came out of left field a little bit for me on that one. I haven't heard him talk that much about that. We'll push that one aside here a little bit. We know that China and Russia, North Korea have been a big issue here. We've been covering it here on our YouTube channel. The debt here as well. I think we're almost at the point here where we're spending $1 trillion a year. We may actually be there now. $1 trillion a year the U.S. government is spending just on interest alone. And this is why, if you've been watching my channel here, the Republicans want to cut the government spending on a lot of different things. But the Democrats are saying, oh, we don't want to cut that. 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 And the Republicans are kind of looking at them like, well, what can we cut? So this is kind of the back and forth of, and I'll be covering this. Or if you've been watching my channel, we're covering this here on a daily basis as we are coming up with actual quotes from the congressmen back and forth here. And I show you this kind of stuff here on the screen. And this is why I show it to you in black and white. Or if I got interviews, show you the video here. They're talking about cuts to Medicaid. They're going to have to make adjustments to Social Security and Medicare, which adjustments can sometimes mean cuts. Raising the retirement age is technically a cut. Depends on how you define it. But if they raise the retirement age, that could mean a couple of years you wouldn't get Social Security. That's a cut. There's a lot of different things on the table. They're going to have to make adjustments to Social Security, raising taxes on some people. I actually seen an article here that said, I'll cover it in an upcoming video here in more detail. So I don't want to get into it here right now. So I'll leave that as a little spoiler here for Social Security. So President Biden just recently warned here of the Republicans' plan to curb access to health care. Again, one of the things Republicans are looking at cutting, because again, there's a lot of subsidized, what Republicans would call handouts, subsidized by the government here. Republicans have insisted that Biden cuts spending as part of a deal to raise the debt limit, a proposition that Biden has remained opposed to, but negotiations are going to happen regardless. Speaking in Virginia, Biden points to GOP proposals to repeal the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, which has a lot of subsidies for low-income people, and cut funding to Medicaid, two programs that nearly 1 in 4 Virginians rely on for coverage. So about 25% of people nationwide. It's not just Virginia. He just happened to be speaking in Virginia here a few days ago. So about 25% of people here, again, getting subsidized here between Medicaid and Obamacare, potentially on the block for cuts. Biden agrees that federal spending needs to be curtailed. He's just opposed to tying it to the debt ceiling negotiations, just to make that key note there, as you can see here. Biden did meet with McCarthy. No agreements have been made yet. One of the big issue here is that we haven't got an official list from Republicans yet. We've got some kind of if comes, maybes, a few guys talking about this, that, and the other thing, a couple Republicans talking about some things, but we have not got an official outline from the Republican committee or Kevin McCarthy or Mitch McConnell, the heads of the Republican houses yet. Now, we might not get it out in the open. This could happen behind closed doors through closed door negotiation as well. And honestly, that may be what happens to not scare people, because as soon as they start talking about cuts, it scares a lot of people. It's cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, anything along the lines, it scares a lot of people. And remember, just raising the age to Social Security, it's technically a cut. If they start talking about taxes to more people for Social Security, again, it's more money coming out of people's pockets. They're going to have to do some type of adjustment for Social Security, or else Congressional Budget Office says it could run out of money in as early as 9 years. They got to do something. They cannot just leave it alone. They cannot just leave it alone. They've known it's going to run out of money for years. So Republican or Democrat, if they just leave it, we're all going to be in trouble. I want to get my Social Security. They've been taking money out of out of my my checks, or my I actually have to. I'm self-employed. I got to pay them. Regardless, is that they're taking money out of my pocket for years and years and years. So, same with you. You want to get the money that we gave to the government back, plus the interest that they owe us, right? Right. So I'll keep you up to date here. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and we'll see, because there's going to be a lot here on the block. Thanks so much for liking these videos, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's some videos you can watch next. Here is a video about North Korea warning the U.S. as well as China, and my wife makes a special appearance in that video. It's a really good video I just did. Or here is a video with Social Security and Medicare and some good news for millions of Americans. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.